Hi guys, welcome to our podcast Supposedly Adults, where we are four supposed adults sharing our quote-unquote youthful experiences.
Talking about the most random life topics.
Giving our thoughts that no one cares about.
And just trying to make life suck less.
That's right, so I'm Jensen.
I'm Melody.
This is Calvin.
And this is Lyris. And today's random question is, why can't I be happy for you?
Hi guys. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Guys.
We're back again.
Okay, so today I have something that I want to talk about. I guess this would be mostly a very confession sort of episode, just just confessing how bad of a person I am. But okay, so as you guys know, four of us are Buddhist. So as part of our Buddhist learning, we always have to reflect on ourselves, and we have to strive to be a better person. So there's a concept called four limitless state of mind. So it's basically something that we strive to have. So there are four things that we wish that we would be able to do. So the first one is love and kindness. The second one is compassion. The third one is being happy when other people are happy. And the fourth one is generosity. So these are something that we always have in our mind. And I just find it pretty hard to do. You would think that being compassionate or being empathetical is something harder to do, but actually for me I feel compassion in a sense that if someone's feeling sad or there's people who are less fortunate than I am, I feel a compassion for them. But then the harder thing is, which is weirder, is that when other people are happy, it's so hard for me to be happy for them. I don't know if you guys can relate to that.
Oh yeah, I can totally relate to that, definitely.
Sorry, I feel really, really bad when that happens, right? Because I'm so whenever my friends text me about, oh my gosh, I'm so in love or whatever, I just sort of don't want to, I just sort of don't want to reply them. It's not I'm not pissed because of that, or I'm not unhappy because they're happy. I'm just oh well, okay, I don't really mind, or I don't really care. But if they text me about oh, I broke up, or my boyfriend did this to me, how dare he, I will immediately reply and be how are you feeling, are you doing great, oh, he's such a jerk, stuff like that. And it's I find that to be very weird. I don't know.
No, I can totally relate to that. Well, since we're all confessing, I'll join you. I'll join you too.
Wait, we're confessing?
That's what Lyris says in the beginning. No, I can totally relate to that. One thing actually just happened. It's always I'm in school and there's always a scholarship season, and I realized that whenever people tell me that they got a scholarship, I'll be like, oh, cool. I'm not really excited. And in a way, actually, if I don't get it and that person gets it, and on the surface I'll be oh, I'm happy for you, congratulations, but then in the back of my mind I'll be oh wow, I can't believe you got it. And or if the person got it, I'll be yeah, I got it last year too, cool, big deal. I always had that in the back of my mind. It's really weird.
Yeah, sometimes it's if they are happy and then for example they win something, right? They won something and then we lost because of that. Then I understand why you might be upset, because it's okay, you win then I lose. But sometimes in situation, them being happy does not affect you at all. Genuinely, my friend getting a boyfriend, that doesn't affect me. Why am I not happy for that? Or why do I have some hard feelings about that? And that's just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Do you guys
no,
have
I
that?
think that makes a lot of sense, because I feel that. Because I've been thinking about this a lot too, and I feel it always comes from a place of insecurity. Because I personally, I did my undergrad degree in business, and then I hated business. So I've been in the business field for a little bit, and I hated it, and that's why I made a conscious choice to want to get more meaning out of the work that I do. That's why I switched to education, and I'm super happy in the field that I'm in. And one day I decided to catch up with some of my business school friends, and they went on to the traditional path of going through a management trainee program and whatnot, and they are there, you know, talking about how they're in a big brand doing being the brand manager, and they're earning a lot of money and whatnot. And I remember I came out of that dinner feeling really, really gross. Like, I really hate it. I'm really upset. I felt really bad. But the thing is, this is a choice that I made, and I switched careers, so there is no point for direct comparison anyway. But somehow I just felt really shitty, and since we're revealing how shit of a person we are, I just kind of feel like, because I've been reflecting on it a lot too, and I just feel like it's because I feel like we started together and we were group mates and we were friends and we worked on good projects, so I kind of know where their ability is at. And I feel like, you know, the fact that, you know, we started off from the same place and now they're so much faster and so much beyond me, I just feel really shit about it.
Oh yeah, no, I can totally relate to that, because I decided to take less money so that I can work in a startup where my startup is actually, you know, building prosthetic knee joints for a third world country. So that is a personal choice. I'm very passionate about it and always proud of it. Like, you're actually doing some good for the people in the world, right? That's kind of like the whole reason why I went to engineering, all that. But when I learned that one of the fresh grad from my lab, she's just like a couple years younger than me, like, and I just kind of learned that, oh yeah, she actually got a job in a hospital and she's making more money than I did when I was working. I was like, dude, who are you to make more money than me? I got more experience. I helped you so much more when doing your master. I know so much more than you. Like, and I was like, you know what, dude, I could have just, like, if I just joined the force again, like, I could have earned way more. Like, and it doesn't affect me, like, nothing at all, exactly what you said. And yet I felt a little bit jealous, kind of like, you know, like, for some reason I need that money, the salary, to validate my success. And then it took me a little bit of time to, like, oh no, Calvin, it's okay, it's a personal choice, like, it's okay, like, you choose this, like. But again, like, when I first heard about it, I was kind of like, oh, I was a little bit, I don't know if angry is the right word. I don't know, it feels weird.
So are you upset at the fact that you didn't get it, or are you upset at the person for getting it? Because I do think there's a fundamental difference.
No. I didn't upset for not getting it, because she got a job at the hospital and I did an internship at a hospital, and I swear I was like, I will never get a job at a hospital because I hated it. I hated that job. But just the fact that she make more money from that job than what I'm doing, something that I love and passionate about.
Exactly.
Just that alone. I was like, dude, why are you making more money than me?
That's
But I know.
interesting.
And again, I go into this job as a startup, so I know I'll make less, and I'm okay. Like, and I'm still okay. I'm very happy about it. But when it's just that when I first heard about it, the first like 15 minutes, I was like, dude, why are you earning more money than me? You're not, like, you know, my mind is like, you're less qualified than I am. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like, how society always using salary to quantify your success. But like, that's why, like, oh, you're making more money means you're more successful. You know, that's usually how people judge you. But I was like, at that, you know, in that brief moment, I was kind of dragged into that. Because to me, I always like, oh, you know what? I want to be doing something that is meaningful. I want to do something that can help people. That's how I quantify success. But even in that brief moment, I kind of drawn into like, like, kind of like, oh, I need my salary to quantify my success. You know what I mean?
Okay, but again, so to change the question again, are you upset at that person, or are you upset at the system that you two are involved in, that kind of thing?
I guess.
Because I do.
No, like, I have nothing to hold against that. And maybe it's not the system. It's just, I don't know. I guess I just got jealous, or I got just angry for. It's just like, why are you earning more?
Feeling,
I feel like it's more a pride thing, or like an ego thing. Because I think instead of the money quantifying your success, I feel like the money is quantifying my self-worth.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's more like, oh, am I not as worthy as you? Because that's where the ability thing comes from. Like, we share the same ability, so we should worth the same, but we do not worth the same. I think that is where it messes up with your mind.
Yeah, for me, again, when you mention insecurity, I resonate with that, because oftentimes when I feel this sense of dissatisfaction of your success, that kind of projects that the satisfaction I feel for my own life. So that's the insecure part. But like, from my past, when people win prizes, when people have better grades than me, Okay, actually the grades thing is different. When people win prizes, when people win prizes, especially when you cannot understand how they receive the prize, most oftentimes like you kind of know who received it and maybe you have your own judgment of the person. So like let's say when my friend won this particular prize and I was kind of upset. I wasn't upset at him because I do think that he or she deserves it.
Yeah.
However, I feel like there's something very, very wrong with the system where if he or she deserves it, I should deserve it too.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, I
That's
totally
the thing where I
get.
can't feel 100% happy for you because
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm really happy for you, but
Yeah,
you know, I should-
exactly.
Yeah, it's so interesting because how like I'm trying to wrap my head around all these. Like it seems to be such a universal feeling.
Right,
Like
right.
everybody kind of feels this and everybody can relate to it, but I don't know
Yeah.
what's the reason to it. What I've been thinking a lot as well, it's all the examples we're giving right now are very easily quantifiable. So it's very easily compared. So let's say money or salary or scholarship or titles or prizes, right? So have you guys had any experience where it's less quantifiable? Like, do you also get jealous over that?
I just want to quickly add that I don't know, it's really relatable. Maybe just four of us just shit. Maybe that's it. Maybe other people are really good
honestly.
and like they're
Right?
angels. We're
Yeah, there's
just
some
shit.
people
That's
who are
all.
always so nice.
Exactly.
whatever the situation,
Just
and I feel
us.
so bad. It's like, why am I not like you?
But
You're
are
right,
they
exactly.
though? Maybe
And-
when other people look at us, they also feel and
Okay.
before they heard this
But
podcast,
even-
they also feel like we're
No,
good
but
people.
even that,
I-
like,
I-
why can't you just accept that some people are like nice? Like, do you ever get really angry at really nice people? You're like, why are you so nice? Like, that is what is wrong with you? Why are you so nice? It's because like whenever we see other people.
I remember Lyris telling me that when she first met Calvin.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
don't
why? He's
trust
so-
this person. He's so nice.
Lyris once told me when we first met Calvin, he was like, he's so not relatable. Like, I cannot relate to this person at all because he's so nice.
LMAO.
So now we
This
know
is a
it's
really
all the
good
front.
actor. I'm Oscar
Wait,
worthy,
wait,
yo.
Let me go back to the question that Melody posed. Okay, so if you're talking about experiences that are less quantifiable, okay, let's say for now during COVID, where I'm in the UK, and I see people in New Zealand, people even in Asia and Hong Kong, in Singapore, people are going out and about.
We're not.
Meanwhile, we've just been announced we're in
Right.
Tier 4
Oh,
lockdown.
gee.
I definitely can't feel happy for you.
Right.
Is that,
But
does
that's
that count
very
as an
understandable. That's very understandable,
that's
Jansen.
fair.
No, but okay. Let's say okay. I'm gonna pull up the thing that happened right before we started recording. So I bought this beanie and I got this email saying that it's been shipped.
Oh my gosh. This is not even okay, fine.
No,
You're
let her
so
tell the
petty.
story. Okay. Listeners, you be the judge and comment on who you think is right. Melody, set the scene. Go.
Okay, so I received this email and I say that it's shipped and it's tracking. So I got really excited. So I was like, oh my god, guys, I wanted to show you that I got this beanie. The first reaction I got from Lyris, who is my sister, is like, do you even look good in a beanie? And then Chance was like, is it even that cold there? Like, dude, like, just let me be and let me have my beanie and be happy
I
for
asked
it.
that because I am your sister and I've never seen you in a beanie. I just feel like it's very risky to order something that you don't know if you look good in, okay?
Okay, my question is based on practicality. If you're not gonna use it, if it's not cold, like I understand it from an aesthetic point, but like if you're not gonna use it, why do you want to buy it? So it's about the question is about whether whether I should feel happy at that moment. You know, like just to check whether you're completely happy with your decision. That you have made
Justify
for
it
yourself.
all you want, guys. No, but what I want to say, oh, Calvin, do you want to go?
Oh no, I just think it's funny. Like like instead of just being genuinely happy for that person, you have to judge. It's like, do you even look good? Oh, like, is it practical? And it's funny.
Yeah.
Like instead of just like, oh yeah, I'm happy for you. You have to
No,
like
no, it's-
add
it's
insert
different,
your
it's
judgment.
It's different because I want to be sincere with my happiness. So I do want a slight judgment to make sure, like, are you gonna use it? Like, continue to use it. And then once you say yes, I will. Then it's like, yes, go girl, you do what you want. I'm happy for you. Just that small check before anything commences.
Okay. No, but what I want to say is, it's so interesting how this human psyche works, because in Chinese there's a word called 幸灾樂禍, and there's this German term too. Jansen, do you want to entertain? Yes, so that, I'm not going to try to repeat that. But just the idea of people kind of have this tendency to be happy on others people's misfortune, and it's really hard to be genuinely happy for other people's happiness. So what do you think, what are some theories that you guys have that might be the reason?
But is it why we are unhappy with other people's unhappiness, or why we just simply can't be happy for people's successes? I think there's a difference.
We can cover both, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you guys
have any
think?
theories?
But we talked about
but,
insecurity, but
like,
what else?
I
do you
can't
think?
happy for others people happy. I think, you know what? I think it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of relatable to, that beanie story. Like, first of all, you need to insert your own judgment. Kind of like you need to, because what if that, like, how Jensen said that, oh, I need to insert a little bit of judgment, judge that whether it's practical for you. Oh, like, if you're actually using it, then I'll be happy for you. But, like, why does it matter whether it passes your own criteria? What if she only wants to buy it to get happiness? Like, oh, she wants to just to have that beanie. It doesn't have to wear it. Like, why does it have to pass your requirements saying, oh, if you're going to wear it, you're going to be happy, then yes, I will be happy for you. Like, that's kind of funny. Like, the reason why I say that is relatable because I felt like it's always kind of like, we compare that to ourselves, like whether if this situation applied to me, whether I will be happy or not, and then therefore like I'll be happy for you. But if that person is genuinely happy, then you should just be happy. You know what I mean? But I feel like we always need to compare it to ourselves. Like that's kind of reason why. Like I don't know. Like you know what I mean?
I would argue or counter to that point to say that if you specifically want my happiness, I guess I also just want to make sure it comes from a place where I am genuine about the choices that you have made in your life. Otherwise, if you bought a beanie, I would just feel neutral. Like, all these choices won't really concern me to that degree. But if I want to make the effort to actually empathize and support your decision, I want to make sure that I can be... I can support it in my own way and in my own perspective. Yeah,
because as you guys were saying that, it also reminded me of this tendency where people tell me something good, I always try to be I'm always very skeptical. Like it's very easy to frame it as the sense of, oh, I'm just trying to help you make sure, but I feel like I do this tendency out of spite. In a way, like, I don't think I'm consciously trying to do that intentionally, but I feel like subconsciously I'm trying to question your decision or question your happiness in a way. Because let's say if people tell me, I don't know, come up with an example. Oh, there's this guy that I really like, then I'll start questioning. Oh, are you sure? Like, where is he from? Like, are you sure he's genuine? Like, are you sure he's not just looking to you as a rebound? You kind of have this immediately insert some very skeptical thoughts into that process. So I don't know if you guys feel that too.
Yeah, actually, so my friend has been reading a book about, parenting and how like some parents or like a lot of people have like it's like subconsciously, like obviously like most parents love their kids a lot, but then subconsciously they have these like a lot of like emotional baggages with that. So some parents do subconsciously try to take revenge on their kids or like not being happy for their kids some way. It sounds really bad, but I feel like it's not just, I feel like everyone has that mentality somehow. It's sort of like, oh, if I don't have that growing up, then why do you deserve it? Some sort of like that. So it's so one thing is like to have like my criteria of happiness, or like you could only, like, if I am happy about this thing, then only you can be happy. Or it's like immediately inserting yourself in that, right? So it's immediately comparing, why are you happy? I didn't have that, so you should be happy, stuff like that. I feel like that's like just always immediately inserting yourself in
like,
other people's
what do you mean?
feelings.
Like, what do you mean? Give me examples or something.
Right.
Like,
I guess it's, for example, it's like, I think it's like the whole, like, we had an episode about, generational conflict, and I feel like it's always that, right? It's always the older generation. It's always like, oh, younger kids. I find it very like ironic because like older generation are working hard to provide a better future for like the future generations, but when our generation are enjoying those things, they sort of like get angry about it. They're like, oh, you had it so good now, but you know, back in our days, blah blah blah, so you shouldn't be happy. Or like even for myself, for example, like my school just recently renovated, and the kids now have like an excessive fancy library, and it'd be like, do you know, back in my day I didn't have that, or whatever. What did you deserve to have that, or something like that? Like, I don't know how that like came about, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah, because I feel like this reminded me of a story. I used to have a business partner in one of the jobs that I do. He has a son, so his son is helping him do his business and opening a restaurant. And somehow, obviously, the dad, you know, pays the money, invests the money, and then the son kind of operates it and runs it, and it's really successful. So when there are a lot of news report and whatnot, and they are interviewing the son, the dad got jealous, and the dad got very pissed off, and he actually went
Really?
and told people how he wouldn't have been here without me, in a way. So he actually got kind of jealous and about his success, and he felt like, you know, you don't deserve it because without me you wouldn't have been able to do that.
That is very interesting, because I was just about to ask you guys if it is like, because you feel like let's say the person's being happy, and then you can't be happy for them just because like the distance between you guys is a little bit further. Because I was gonna ask like, if it's like a distant friend, that's why you can't be happy for that person. But if, let's say, it was siblings or like being successful and you're happy for her kind of thing. Like, it's just, if my sister, let's say, got a scholarship or got a really good job, what she did, and I was so happy for her, like genuinely super excited, even happier than me getting it. I'm kind of like numb to it, but like if she got it, it was like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you. You know what I mean? But then it's so interesting, you're saying like how the father got jealous of the son's success. That is so interesting to me.
Right. But do you not think that sometimes like it's the opposite? Like sometimes if like a random stranger was successful, like I don't care, like there's no stake, right? But if it's like a closer friend, there's like a direct comparison because you came from the same place, or you guys, or like you grew up in the same environment. So like the comparison is like more direct, I think.
Yeah, I definitely, very quickly, I definitely agree with what Lyra said, because the farther, like, the more I don't care. Like, as an elder sister, I can really attest to it, because as a kid, I always feel super grumpy about successes that my sister has. It's not because I don't love her, but I just can't be genuinely happy because it comes from
in the sibling episode.
No, but it just comes from a place of insecurity, right? Because if she does better academically, or she does better in a piano competition, whatever, then I just feel insecure. So maybe Calvin just feels secure about, you know, where he is. That's why he could be genuinely happy for his sister.
But if it's to people who are like not too distant, that they're complete strangers, but you are aware of them in your life and they're within your social circle enough to the point that you observe them, maybe that insecurity just stems from you being unable to explain why are they successful, and then you kind of come up with reasons, but that just reinforces the dissatisfaction and insecurities within your life, and therefore you just feel like, oh my god, like they don't really deserve it.
Yeah. But like, okay, come to think of it, it's like it with like social media and all that, sometimes like judgment between girls, right? When like girls, like some girls like post like very like body positive photos of them, like, you know, showing off their body or like being really hot, like some girls judge them, and I realize that a lot of them actually also comes from, you know, a sense of jealousy or some sort of like insecurity. Like, why are you so confident about your body? Why are you so confident in yourself? Stuff like that. And I feel like that is also sort of related in a sense. Like, why can't, like, how does that affect you? Like, she loves her body, cool, then like how does that affect you, right? But just somehow it does.
Yeah, and like,
fair too.
Yeah, and I feel like social media definitely aggravates it, because if it's a person that I'm not super close with, usually I will never find out what they're up to, but social media now allows me to do that. So let's say if I see people backpacking and traveling around the world, I feel super jealous, and can't be happy for you. but I can do that myself too. But it's a choice because I'm a chicken and I cannot, I'm scared of backpacking alone and traveling alone. But that has nothing to do with that person. But I just got super angry that they're having fun, which makes no sense because
it's because social media only shows the good things. So you don't know like what happened, and maybe he didn't even enjoy it, but like they just show the good things. So I think that's
This is why everybody should follow me and not have any social media or not have any social media interaction. I don't have social media, so therefore
that's why you always say you don't have friends.
To me.
I think it's also different because for me, I feel like I've used social media so much that all these pictures don't bother me as much. Whereas like, oh, you get so used to seeing everyone's happy moments in their lives, which is like, oh, there's another happy moment. But personally for me, I don't have enough energy to say congratulations to every single post and to be super, super happy for every single post I see. So I get kind of numb to all these experiences like, okay, everyone's living their lives and then I'm just neutral throughout. Like, I'm not really particularly happy that you're getting married or you're doing this or you're moving forward in your career. I'm just living my life and you're just living your life. Let's go.
Good for you, Jensen. I feel like this COVID has enlightened you.
Just use more social media,
now.
basically. Until you become numb to all senses, which is kind of bad. Don't do that. But I don't know what the balance.
So I think it's so interesting that... So first we started with being angry or jealous or like, comparing. And then we move on to being numb to everything. But ultimately, we're not happy for other people. We're not. Like, why is this so hard? Why is this like, I don't know, to me anyways, why am I so incapable of being happy for other people? Like, I don't understand. That is so weird.
I suddenly just remember the point that Melody also brought up regarding the skepticism of like when people are sharing their happiness and then you're not too sure whether they should be happy. Sometimes I think, at least the way I see it, it's a form of protection of the people you care about, but it can also be overdone to like to be a projection. I don't know. I remember seeing this thing online called survivalist theory. So I think, to put it plainly, so it's maybe it's a very evolutionary thing within our society. So in the past, when we are hunting and are gathering for food, the things that I earn or the success when I am able to provide for my family means that, or is likely to mean that you won't be able to do the same. So the feeling of jealousy, the feeling of envy is kind of programmed in our blood somewhat, or it has evolved so that we are able to survive. But as society has modernized and we all have more money, more people are able to find their own definitions of quote-unquote success, we realize that happiness or success can kind of be shared around, and our biological programming does not really allow for us to be happy. But at the same time, I just do feel that maybe it's just me, or maybe it's our generation, that my happiness is not really sincere enough, where when people say like, oh, you are getting married, I don't jump for joy. Maybe it's part of the numbing thing, which I talked about just now. But I just don't jump at a chance to say congrats, but all I really want to say is like, oh, congrats, that's it. And then in like in real life, I'm just trying to add emojis to my message to make it feel like I'm giving some sort of emotion and trying to like equate to the other people's happiness that I see on the other comments, that kind of thing.
It's so funny because in my head, it's a picture of like 1,000 people just being super numb, looking at the computer,
Right.
But then on the screen it's all like
emojis.
oh my god, and everybody's just numbing and doing that. No, but
Just flat face, click, drag.
No, I think your theory makes a lot of sense, and it's very interesting. I guess it's always it feels good to always blame it on the genes and blame it on the programming.
Right.
But I personally feel like this conversation, to me, is already very helpful. Like the fact that knowing and being aware of the fact that we are kind of wired to do that or programmed to do that. And I think one of the most beneficial thing I got out of this is the insecurity, because I can imagine if someone got success from something that I honestly have zero relations to, I honestly could be genuinely happy. So let's say if this person got championship in a skiing competition, I'd be like, hey, good for you, because I legit have zero stake in it and I don't care. So whenever I feel upset, it's always because I have some kind of connection or insecurity or stake in it. So I think this is very helpful, and being aware of it allows me to catch these feelings and hopefully be able to slowly change that.
Yeah, and then I think one big thing for me, and I think you kind of mentioned earlier, it's the pride and ego that's kind of prevent me from being happy for other people. Not so much insecurity, it's just the pride and ego thing for me. Because and I feel like actually but yeah, well, like, because when it was years ago, not years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, when I first started working, so when I just fresh off finished my master's, and then, you know, I designed a prosthetic knee joint. I'm so proud. It's like, ooh, dude, I'm an engineer, I'm a designer, I got a product and all that, right? And then I remember I started working in a startup, and the first job, and I, you know, because a startup, being a small company, so you basically need to do everything, and then like coming in. So I remember I flew out to San Francisco, and then like, oh, Calvin, I really need you to help me to, you know, do quality control, like check all these knees. And I remember I was sitting in a closet and just like going in, and then there's something wrong with the bumper of the knee. So I was like swapping bumpers one at a time for the knees, right? And I was just doing it day and night. And I remember sitting there, I was like, dude, what the heck? I'm an engineer. I did my master. I'm a designer. Why the heck am I here just swapping bumpers? Anybody can do this. I shouldn't be doing this, you know? Again, that's just like an ego thing. I was like, dude, I'm so much better than this. Why am I doing this? And I was just like, I remember I was sitting there for 2-3 hours, and it was just like, I was miserable. And all of a sudden, it just clicked for me. Because all of a sudden, I just kind of remember, like, the reason why I do this job is because I really wanted to make an impact for people. And these knees, I was actually supposed to ship to a third world country, supposed to ship to Ghana, actually, so people can use it. And then when I just think about it, it's like, oh, well, Calvin, actually think about this. What if a person comes to you and be like, hey, Calvin, my knee have some problem, can you fix it for me? I'll gladly fix it. Do whatever, swap bumpers, any bumpers, I'll gladly fix it for him. And I was just thinking like, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm just doing it before they asking me. Like, I'm just doing it because genuinely I want to help those people. So when I kind of start thinking about it and I realize I'm not doing it for myself, it's not about my ego, it's about actually helping other people, then my focus changed, and then all of a sudden I've become so much happier. So I felt like it's always the pride and ego thing, like whether I'm being genuinely helping other people or whether I'm okay with doing certain things, it's always ego and pride. So that's kind of like my learning.
So are there moments where or like experiences in the past where you feel like you are genuinely happy for other people?
Yeah, like once I switch that focus, then I'll genuinely being happy for other people. Because for example, like, you know, earlier I talked about how, oh, that person make more money than me, whatever. And also like, yeah, like I think it's really important to be aware. Like, first of all, I could just, you know, just be angry and just be jealous the entire time, but but I guess what Buddhism helps me is being aware of that is a problem, and I know that is a problem, and be like, and I just need to go back to a point where, oh, I'm okay, like I'm happy to for my own decisions. I choose this job because I choose to make an impact, and it's okay. Like, this is my decision, so I should be happy for this. And it's the other person's decision to make more money, to go to the hospital because she likes that job. Then after you know, I kind of realized that already. I kind of realized that, and then I was genuinely happy for her because it's this job that she got, and this, you know, she deserved to make those money. Like, once I remove myself, like stop comparing, stop having that ego thing getting into the way, then I was genuinely happy for that person. But to me, it just, I kind of hated the fact that it takes me like maybe an hour or 2 hours to get to that point, but I'm happy that I can eventually got to that point. I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, I think for me too, like like obviously it's still very hard for me, but like I think like my way is to really immediately detach myself from the situation, because this is not about me. Like, you know, like if a person posts like a photo of herself being happy, and they immediately thoughts like, oh, why am I not happy? I want to be that happy. Why am I not happy? But the thing is, like, you could be happy, but it's two completely separate situations. Like, no one's like, you don't have to put yourself in that. So once you have to like consciously just like separate these two things, and it's like, when we say that this is a problem, we're not only saying it in terms of like a moral high ground. It's not like, oh, you should be happy for other people because that means that you're a nice person. It's like, then you can free yourself from that pressure, free yourself from that jealousy. Because like honestly, if you're upset about other people's happiness, he will continue to be happy. He's continuing like earning those money. You're the only one who's suffering from all those like why am I not blah blah blah. So then just like completely separating, okay, he is on his path of doing that, I am on his path, that's not even something that I want to do. Right, like just remind yourself of like your own things and his like their own things, and then that like really helps you, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because I was going to bring up the example for me. I like something that for some reason I can only recall being happy for my peers, who some of them topped the level in their respective courses, and like I also know someone who topped, and I'm friends with someone who topped the course in topped my course as well. But I felt happy for him because either number one, I understood that he or she or this person was willing to put in the effort and the time to actually get the grades that he or she deserved. That's first and foremost. But I'm also grateful for the things I already had, that technically I didn't really need to compete with this person in this sphere, in this domain. And also realizing that our worth doesn't really need to depend on other people. To be fair, at that point I've been struggling in different areas in my life, but it's a good reminder to know that we don't really need to find happiness in other people's unhappiness or neutral life or whatever. It's more of, if you're satisfied with your life and you're inspired by the other people's success, you will naturally be able to be happy for other people and hopefully at least be neutral to it. I do think it is a problem when people are already insecure and then like kind of projecting their anger, and then like sometimes I do feel that, like I feel like I'm a toxic friend where I'm really trying to be happy for you, but like sometimes I let like a few words slip out, that kind of thing. I feel like, oh my god, I'm such a terrible person, then I like hate on myself even more.
Yeah, because I don't, this might not be the healthiest way, but this could be the first step, because with the uni friends that I told you guys about, ever since that dinner, I just stopped meeting them. Like, I just stopped meeting anybody from business school. Because I felt like I wasn't in a good enough place to feel good about the decision that I'm making yet. At that point, I was very insecure about a lot of things, and that's why I just removed myself. Because how you guys said you detach yourself, I just did that physically. So I just stopped meeting them, and I stopped looking at their profiles and whatnot, so then I don't remember. And right now, I feel like after a lot of years, actually, I'm really old now, but after so many years, I feel like I might be in an okay place right now, feeling about, being okay with where I am and being comfortable with where I am. So I feel like if now I go and meet them, I might be able to do better.
Yeah, I think that is not necessarily like unhealthy. I guess you could just put it as like, just focusing on yourself. Like instead of focusing on other people's things, you just like find the time to focus on your insecurity, focus on like working on your goal. So you focus on like, okay, then I'll work on my own like career path and like to be proud of it. And then instead of just focusing on other people. So I think that could be healthy too.
But also have to warn other people not to kind of avoid all of their problems at once, because sometimes at least in this case it was like a student uni relationship, like you knew them from uni and you're not necessarily super close to them, but sometimes it really could be your family members, or it could be like close relationships, and that you necessarily cannot avoid them for that long of a period. But it's also, you have to be aware that you have your own emotional state. Like for me, there's always a limit to how much happiness I can give or how much support I can give. So you might want to like navigate that for yourself depending on your own relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're succeeding and other people are kind of being toxic, you also can like avoid them as well. Like if you have a very naggy aunt, like I'm not speaking from experience, like that in Thanksgiving,
is your aunt a listener?
My aunt is very nice, but
say her name.
like in Thanksgiving when like you go to your family members, like there's always this culture thing on the internet where like there's this aunt or uncle who always just like, oh, so you like they kind of throw in phrases that undermine your success.
Oh, yeah, for
That's
sure.
toxic in its own right too. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, dude, Chinese
And
New
you
Year
should
is
avoid
coming
that.
up, guys. Chinese New Year is coming up. That's when I remember when I first switched career, this auntie came to me and was like, "Oh, Melody, I heard you changed career." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I love my job right now. I'm in the education field." And she's like, "Why not business?"
Right, that
What?
like what kind of question is that?
Exactly. But
Wait,
yeah.
why aren't you an astronaut? Excuse, I'm so confused. Why not?
I know. I don't know. I can relate to that because I remember I was choosing between doing a master in engineering and also medical school because I got into medical school. And I remember my uncle went into my dad and be like, "Hey, why don't you let him do medical school? Why won't you let him just be a doctor? Why be an engineer?" I was like, what do you mean? What's wrong
Okay,
with being an
uncle's not
engineer?
listening to this.
And it's not the uncle. Like obviously we're blood related. And also I remember I was at work, and then when I was doing my internship in a hospital, somehow this Asian dude, I don't even know him, but we work in the same department, and he's a dad. And he learns, right? And I never talked to him. He comes to me, "Hey, Calvin." I was like, "Wait, what's up? Hey, we're just talking, right?" And all of a sudden he was like, "So why are you here? Why aren't you being a doctor? Like, why?" Like, just
Why?
like, what do you mean? First of all, I don't know you.
Right.
Who the hell are you? Why are you telling me? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an Asian thing, maybe. I don't know. It's
Right?
just so weird.
Maybe.
Yeah, Asian people can't be angry at that stereotype because that's like genuinely how we are. Just don't. Why are people so obsessed? We have so many doctors. It's enough. We're good. Okay. Jeez.
I think it's something everyone has that experience at one another time.
Yeah.
There's somewhat toxic people in their
Yeah.
life. But we just have to realize that there's enough happiness and success for everyone to share in this world.
Yeah.
At least,
And
like,
their
in the modern
success
world.
do
We're
not take away from yours. I think
That's
Yeah.
true. We
like
just have
that.
to be confident in ourselves in
Yeah.
the future.
That's true.
And yeah, I think that's a good place to end
Yeah.
the podcast.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you,
Feeling
guys.
better. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.